Hello and welcome back to Speak English Calmly.
Vague rejections.
Today, we're tackling one of the most frustrating mysteries in the job search. You ace the technical questions. Your experience is perfect. But then, you get that email. We've decided to move forward with another candidate who is a better cultural fit. That sinking feeling. What does that even mean? And how can you demonstrate fit without changing who you are? Our listener Maya knows this well. She's brilliant, qualified, but keeps hitting this invisible wall. The pressure to fake your personality is real, but it often leads to taking a job where you simply don't thrive. The truth is, cultural fit isn't about passing a personality test. It's about compatibility. It's the unspoken environment that determines your long-term happiness and success. And guess what? You should be interviewing the company on culture just as much as they are interviewing you. So today, I'm going to share a simple framework with Maya. I call it the Culture Compass. It's a tool to decode a company's hidden cultural DNA and to demonstrate your authentic alignment with it. No more guessing. No more performing. Let's transform you from a generic candidate into a discerning cultural matchmaker. All right, now let's listen to how this sounds in real life. Hi Maya, thanks for joining me. I understand you've been getting some confusing feedback after interviews.
Hi Alex. Yes, it's happened 3 times now. The technical rounds go perfectly. Then, in the final culture fit chat, I get vague rejections. Last week, the recruiter said I didn't quite demonstrate how I'd thrive in their specific collaborative environment. I thought I had. I said all the right things about being a team player and loving collaboration.
Can you tell me what you actually said when they asked, how do you work in a team?
Sure. I said, I'm a dedicated team player. I believe communication is key, and I always support my colleagues to ensure project success. I adapt easily to different team dynamics.
I see. And what do you know about that specific company's idea of collaboration?
Well, what was on their website? They value open communication and radical collaboration. I worked those words into my answers.
That's a great start, but corporate values pages are often the destination, not the map. The real culture is in the daily journey, how things actually work. Let me share a tool I call the Culture Compass, 4 axes that map any workplace culture. This isn't about changing who you are. It's about finding where you fit and showing it. First axis, communication style, direct versus diplomatic. Does feedback happen bluntly in meetings or gently in one-on-ones? Second, team structure, hierarchical versus flat. Are decisions made top-down or is consensus built from all levels? Third, work pace, fast and adaptive versus steady and planned. Do priorities change weekly? Or is the roadmap fixed for quarters? Fourth, risk approach, innovative and experimental versus proven and stable. Are failed experiments seen as learning or as mistakes?
So when they ask about teamwork, they're not just hearing, I'm a team player. They're probing which axis? The structure axis? Whether I'm okay with a flat or hierarchical setup?
Exactly. Your adapt easily answer is generic. It doesn't tell them how you collaborate in their system. Let's apply this. Think of the company that rejected you. Beyond the website, what did your research show?
On Glassdoor, a few reviews mentioned debates are encouraged in all-hands meetings, and you need to defend your ideas to senior VPs directly. That sounds more direct and somewhat flat.
Good decoding. So their collaboration might mean openly debating ideas across levels. Now, reframe your team player answer for that environment.
Okay, instead of I adapt easily, I could say, I thrive in collaborative environments where ideas are stress-tested openly. In my last project, I initiated a debate with a senior engineer about our approach, which led to a much stronger solution. I understand you encourage this direct dialogue, and that's where I do my best work.
Perfect. You've now demonstrated alignment on the communication and structure axes. You're speaking their cultural language. Now, the second part, you assessing them. What would you ask them to understand their real culture?
For the risk axis, I could ask, could you give me an example of a recent new idea that was tested, and what was learned from the process, whether it succeeded or failed?
Excellent. That probes their true tolerance for experimentation. See? You're no longer just answering. You're having a two-way cultural conversation.
This makes so much sense. I once took a job because they talked about innovation, but in reality, they were deeply risk-averse. Every small failure was punished. It was a terrible mismatch I could have spotted.
Precisely. The compass helps you avoid that. It turns vague fit into a tangible, diagnosable compatibility. Okay, let's pause here for a moment. Let's break down the culture compass practically. For each axis, you need to research and then ask smart questions. First, communication. Direct versus diplomatic. Don't just read, "We value honest feedback." Research. Look for Glassdoor phrases like, "feedback is blunt," or "management is approachable." In the interview, ask, "How is feedback typically delivered on this team? Can you give me a recent example?"
What's a red flag here if I prefer diplomatic communication?
If you need gentle delivery, but they say, "We're very direct here, it's sink or swim," that's a potential mismatch. A green flag would be alignment. Second, team structure. Hierarchical versus flat. Research. Look at LinkedIn profiles of team members. Do junior staff present to clients? In the interview, ask, "How was the decision made to open this role? Who would I collaborate with daily outside my direct team?"
So I'm listening for whether I'd need to go through 3 layers of management or can talk directly to a lead.
Exactly. Third, work pace. Fast and adaptive versus steady and planned. Research. Analyze job description verbs. Pivot quickly. Manage ambiguity versus maintain long-term roadmaps. Ask, could you describe a typical project timeline? How did the team handle the last major priority shift?
This helps me understand if I'm walking into constant fire drills or a predictable workflow.
Yes. Finally, risk. Innovative versus stable. Research. Read their blog about lessons learned from failures. Ask, what happens when a well-planned experiment doesn't deliver the expected result? Their answer is incredibly telling.
So the goal is to gather this data to see if I will thrive, not just to give them the right answer.
Exactly. You are assessing them. Frame your stories to highlight your natural style. If you love stability, tell a story about reliably maintaining a complex system. If you thrive on change, talk about successfully navigating a sudden pivot. Authenticity is magnetic. All right, now let's practice together. Now, listen and repeat after me. We'll practice phrases for research insights, alignment statements, and probing questions. Category 1, Research Insights. Based on my research, I noticed your team often mentions. From employee stories, I gathered that decision-making seems to be. I read about Project X on your blog, which showed a real emphasis on. Category 2, Alignment Statements. In flat team structures, I found I thrive by taking initiative on. My communication style is direct yet respectful, which aligns with what I've heard about your feedback culture. I perform best in steady-paced environments where I can deeply focus, which seems to match your approach to project planning. Category 3, Probing Questions. How would you describe the communication style on this team? Could you give me a recent example of how a new idea moved from proposal to action? When priorities change quickly, how does the team typically reorganize? Great job. Let's wrap up. So, to recap your culture compass: communication, direct to diplomatic; structure, hierarchical to flat; pace, fast to steady; and risk, innovative to stable. Remember, finding a cultural mismatch is not a failure. It's a success. It saves you from a role where you wouldn't thrive. Use this compass to navigate your job search. Research deeply, ask curious questions, and frame your authentic stories to show alignment. You have the right to a workplace where your natural working style is valued. Use the compass to find where you'll thrive, not just where you can survive. For more on structuring those stories, check out our video on the STAR plus framework for mastering behavioral questions within any cultural context. And we'd love to hear from you. Comment below. Describe a company culture you loved or hated using one of the culture compass axes. For example, my last company was extremely hierarchical. Let's decode it together. Thank you for listening. Remember, calm confidence comes from knowing your value and knowing how to find the right environment for it. Keep speaking English calmly, and I'll see you in the next one.